Welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. And of course, nothing says Friday like good fashion. Remember Fashion Fridays when everyone used to dress up? Not so much anymore, but we still love fashion. So our next guest is bringing plenty of that and some.
He's a multi-talented designer who has designed looks for theater productions as well as New York Fashion Week. Please join us in welcoming our new friend to the show from the fashion house Niiamar, the lovely, dynamic Niiamar Felder.
Hello, ladies.
Woo,
hello, Jane.
So happy to have you. Well,
thank you so much. It is a pleasure to be here.
Oh, we're so happy to have you. Well, we're going to start off by you telling us what inspired you, Niiamar, to get into the fashion industry.
Well, I was always an artist. So I was a trained tenor, so a visual artist, working with, of course, paint and ceramics. And again, I said a vocally trained tenor. And so I think just being in the performing arts really cultivated my eye and my desire to be a designer. And actually, I was in high school, and it's a little known story. I saw 101 Dalmatians, and at the time it was the Disney's real life movie. And Glenn Close was playing Cruella de Vil, and as you know, Cruella de Vil is a fashion designer. And then when I saw that movie, I think I was 16, I knew immediately that I wanted to be a designer. And I went on to use all of those skills that I learned in the arts and applied them to fashion and design.
That is so exciting. Well, you know, of course, now our lives have been altered with COVID-19, with this pandemic. As a fashion designer, how has this affected you?
Everything has literally stopped. Actually, before the stay-at-home orders hit with Andrew Cuomo, the governor for New York City and New York State, I was in the midst, like the exact same week that it all happened, I was preparing to have fittings for the off-Broadway production of Before It Hits Home, which is an amazing play, which was written by Cheryl West, who also wrote the screenplay and the play Holiday Heart. And so literally, designers, artists, our lives, actors, our lives have stopped. And as you know, Broadway is dark. They're saying until September. And I was actually just in the garment district this week, and it's a ghost town in the city. Like, businesses are really shuttered. And so, I'm having to order online and, of course, wait for fabric and wait for notions. So it definitely has been a change, but New Yorkers are resilient and creatives are resilient as well. So we are definitely accentuating the positive and making things work.
Well, Niiamar, you spoke about those who inspire you, and particularly that movie. You recently published an essay on work of Emmy and Tony Award-winning costume designer Paul Tazewell. Now, what was writing that essay like?
Well, first I had to meet him. And I have been following Paul Tazewell since I was a fledgling in the business, and he is such a sweet man and very endearing. And so to sit down with him in his studio, in the Hamilton studios, I was actually able to touch and feel those beautiful silk garments that he designed for Hamilton, which of course is a hit Broadway show. It was magical, and he was really open and honest with sharing his story from beginning to end. And he's an amazing man and, of course, an amazing designer.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Niiamar, what I want to ask you about, what Jane and I were talking about, is Fashion Week. I mean, both of us, I don't think you've been to Fashion Week, have you, Jane?
That's on my bucket list.
That is on my list, and I was supposed to go this year, okay? I finally was making plans to go this year. You've got to tell us what it was like being a part of Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week.
So I showed New York Fashion Week, I believe that was 2012 or 2000, I think it was 2012. And it was exhilarating because just not so long before, I had just moved to New York. So I was still in my mid-20s and I was ready to take New York on. And I did just that. And it was an experience like none other, especially as a young designer that went from college Then, of course, to New York City. I made that big leap to New York City in 2008, and I believe it was 2010. It was 2 years after I showed at New York Fashion Week, and of course there was Market and all the celebrities, Gayle King, and all of the fashions who. So it was an amazing experience, and I learned so much from that experience because, as a young designer, you're still learning and you're growing, but it was phenomenal. It's like nothing else.
Well,
and it happened just like that. It happened so fast once the girls hit the runway. It's like 10 to 20 minutes, and all of these months of work, they're over.
So how did you actually get selected to be in Fashion Week? Isn't that quite a process?
Well, it's about the money. It's really about the money. If you have the money, you can get into those doors. But there are so many accelerated programs, for emerging and young designers then and even now. And at the time, I showed with a design collective that had sponsored the space, the venue, and that's almost unheard of now. So I got in at a very sweet time, and so I was only responsible for, of course, producing the fashion, producing the line, and they provided everything else, which was a segue and a great platform that, of course, allowed me to move further into the design industry and of course into theater, film, off-Broadway, and of course continuing on with my custom and ready-to-wear label.
Exciting.
One of the things is that you can tell that Niiamar is a Renaissance man. And so, not only just doing the fashion, one of the things I want you to talk about before we finish, because we're going to run out of time. We can tell we're going to run out of time. Right. Tell us about your card line that you're about to introduce during this time, because once again, you've created another,
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. I love to write, and I love to send beautiful cards and affirmations. And so during this COVID, everything is shut down. I'm home working remotely. I'm still designing. And I said, Niiamar, how can you reach people, encourage people, give someone some inspiration with your words and, of course, with your designs that can be uplifting and then also, of course, can hit the bottom line, let's be very honest, in supporting the business. And so Eureka, that's how it came about. And the cards, right now we have one line which is all about affirmations, and there's a second greeting line that's coming out. But they're beautiful hand watercolor illustrations by yours truly with beautiful aspirations and beautiful affirmations for people, honestly, to be encouraged during this time and beyond. They're great gifts and they're great keepsakes.
All right. So you're in New York City right now? Before we let you go, we'll have more. We had a little technical snafu there. Can you still hear us?
Okay. Yes,
this
I'm
is
here.
the age we're in doing these videos online. But yeah, I was asking you, you're in New York City, right?
Yes, I am.
Are you in the boroughs or are you actually in the city?
I am in the city. Well, I'm in the Bronx, actually.
Oh, you're in the
So I'm not like in the city, but I'm in the city. Same. Actually, I was in the city earlier. It's all city.
I only ask because I just want, New York City is just known for the streets being filled with people all, in the top fashions and whatnot. Do you see it coming back like that?
I do. Of course, fashion is resilient. The designers are resilient. And just as I am still creating, there are thousands of other designers, that are still creating, that are still producing. And actually, dresses for my line will be sold on Niiamar.com as well. So yes, it will come back. It'll bounce back in time. The city is still buzzing. People are just home. So, we're finding new ways to create other than being actually physically and in person.
All right, wonderful. So that was Niiamar.com?
Niiamar.com, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It's been awesome talking to you.
And we're going to have you back. You're going to be our new friend.
Absolutely. It's so good to see you guys. Thank you so much.
All right,
what a
stay
pleasure.
safe.
You're welcome.
Well, still to come, Making It Known, we'll discuss some of the latest headlines from around the world. Ladies first, we'll be right back.